It's this official start of summer. I can't believe it. Just, it feels like this whole year is flying by, but at the same time going very slow. I don't know how you feel. East End of Resales, good morning. Markello and Celeste. Twani, welcome in. Nietzsche, hello. Vintage by Carly, hello, how are you? I'm gonna boop a couple of people. Boopity boop. How is everyone doing? Melody, hello. Don't know why you're not booped automatically. Hi Carly, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Good morning, Melody. Sorry, I'm a little bit late getting going this morning. I apologize. Um, I'm just in. I Hey, Disabled Vet, how are you? Yes, absolutely. Everyone follow Disabled Vet, another community host. How are you doing? How are things down there? Pronounced Lyris. Lyris, how are you this morning? How are things? Arlene's, good morning. How is everyone doing? Little Squirrel, good morning. Quinn B, hello, hello. Yes, I'm very happy to help out any Canadian. I'll help out anyone. I'll help out anyone, but Canadians. I'm here for them. Little Squirrel, how's it going? Good morning. Arlene's, thank you for the hearts. Okay, so feel free to ask your question and share your shows. I forgot to put that in the show notes. I apologize. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm feeling okay this morning, although I couldn't decide on lipstick. So I gave up, like as you can see. I kept making changes. And then I was trying to find something like all black to wear, and I realized my closet lacks black that fits me. Oh, thank you. Dover, good morning. How are you doing? Welcome in. We're going to be talking with Clear Out Show tonight with Vintage by Carly. What time, Carly? I'm excited. I love Clear Out shows. Mofo Cards, what's up? So we are going to be talking with a seller today, but if you have questions, Mimics, hello, love. How are you? In my show yet last night, Mimics, John, we were talking about Peacock was in there joking around as usual. And there was an Opalite piece that I had, and I was like, Mimics would know the answer to this. And Peacock's like, I'm here, I know the answer. And I said, and then the group decided that maybe you're the same person because you're usually on later at night, and Peacock's, you know, sometimes, like, are you ever really in the same room together? Is it possible that you're the same person, just separated? Because so so I said, well, then Peacock, we've played bingo together, so there you go, if that's the case. But no. Pokeroo. Yes, we have a mystery Pokeroo. Boomer Boyle, welcome in. Blue Eyes, how are you? And Baby Bat Vintage is in the house. We're going to be talking with Baby Bat Vintage this morning. I'm going to moderate you so that you can say hi. So our guest today is Baby Bat Vintage. So Melody, do you want to, if anyone has any questions, just ask your questions. I'm going to switch this other screen so I can see just questions. Anyone bought from the US, do they ship via USPS too? Yes. So they ship by USPS. The tariffs are better. Our tariffs aren't as, no rush, Baby Bat, you let me know. You're outsourcing. Awesome. Hoover, welcome in. So our tariffs, are they better? They're not worse, I guess. We don't have the customs duties fee like UP when someone ships, but the shipping fee has reduced significantly from buying in from the States, but you are still going to get hit with customs charges. You can go to tarifffinder.ca and put in the details about the things that you're thinking about buying, and it'll tell you what the tariffs will be. You just have to make sure you say US to Canada, and then it'll tell you what the tariffs could be for that item. The percentage. It won't like calculate the whole thing. Like if you paid $20, this is what you'd pay, but it'll tell you what the percentage will be. She's your female doppelganger. Yes, that is true. That is true. Ada, welcome in, and Ben, welcome in. So feel free to ask your questions. Melody, are you good to come on and just I kind of want to chat with you if you're up for it, if you're available. I'll chat with you first. You can do the introduction, but first I want to ask. I'm gonna just there you are. Have you heard the flat rate no more? Yeah, flat rate no more in the United States. So everyone, just let's have a moment of silence and remember flat rate and wish it well on its new journey outside of whatnot US. It has does not affect Canada at all. So, but they're all freaking out. They're not all freaking out, but there's quite a few of them who are freaking out. There's nothing to freak out about. There's still going to be ground advantage, and there's still going to be priority, and um, it's actually going to work out better, less complicated, because too many people in the United States cannot figure out that a flat rate priority box that says flat rate on it no, can only use a flat rate label. They would put a priority label on it because it says flat rate priority box, and that's too complicated. So, um, just proving that our education system in North America has failed us all. Um, what's with if you sell more than $500? What? What's that? I don't know what that is. All right, come on and let's chat because I actually want to talk about. There you go. Invite to co-host. All right. Oh, make sure that I'm muted over here, or that will be awkward. Okay.
Good
All right.
morning. Do you like my
Oh,
glasses?
look at
I'm having a back. I'm having a they're like it's like yoga pants for your face. I'm having one of those days.
you. Maybe I should switch too. Hang on. Uh, I don't have crazy enough glasses.
Let's
I actually
let's do
do.
it. Let's do oh
All
I
right.
actually have those in sunglass version.
Hang on.
Serious.
BRB. I'll be back. You Melody, why don't you tell folks about what
Let's
your
do it.
number one selling tip for whatnot is while I just grab my glasses.
Okay. Number one selling tip is have fun. That's my number one selling tip. Is have fun, be yourself, show some energy, and I think that's the best thing that you can do. How's everybody doing? Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Um, so Kim, oh my goodness.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I need to screen print this. Hold on. Screen printing. Wait, one more. I love it. I love it. That's so good.
I need to paint these colors.
They're
It's very
so
cute.
good. Oh my
Okay.
goodness, I love it.
So hang on. So hi Sandra.
Sandra's like, what did I come into? We're having a eyewear party. Does
Yes.
anybody here actually sell eyewear? Put in the chat if you do.
Ooh, yeah. If anyone does sell like these kind of fun glasses,
Yeah,
sunglasses, let us know. It's really hard to see out of these. Holy cow. Okay, so look on my my vintage note paper.
I
I'm
love
taking
it.
I want to talk about just briefly with you about
Yeah.
how to deal with bad reviews. We
Okay.
had we had something that happened it ended up being public on Facebook, in the
Oh,
Canada Facebook. So
okay.
I'm not going to mention. There's going to be no names mentioned.
Yeah.
But this person got a bad review
Okay.
and then decided to air that grievance
On Facebook.
on the Facebook. But the other problem was that they also disclosed personal information. They disclosed a screenshot with that person's address,
Oh,
which is, I mean, one, it's unprofessional for you to say so and so gave me a bad review and they're horrible and blah 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 blah. That's
yeah.
unprofessional. But
Yeah.
it is doxing and actually could end up being a lawsuit if the person wanted to, and it's against whatnot terms of service to show someone else's address without their permission.
Right. Right.
You can't show a buyer's address share that anywhere. Like, you have to black it out even if you're just sending it to a friend. Yeah, it's a breach of
Yes,
privacy. No
exactly, exactly.
thing. So I kind of want to talk about it. Bad reviews don't happen very often.
No,
I find whatnot. Most people, it's a great community. Most people understand if there's a problem. They understand. Every once in a while, you're going to get somebody. Sometimes it's somebody who is not well in themselves, is not well, and they are
right,
lashing out at the world, and you just
exactly. We've experienced that, Kim. We've experienced
yeah,
that. We won't go into
and
detail, but we've experienced that.
or it's just they had a really crappy day and they give a
Yep.
bad review because they're and it has nothing to do with you, and
Mhm.
it's feels unfair, and you wanna and your first instinct is to freak out for most people. Um,
Exactly.
so I want to kind of talk about, like, so obviously sharing personal information is not okay. This person ended up getting reported for doing that. They were a premier shop. They are no longer a premier shop. They
Oh,
lost
wow, that's
and
shocking. It's so hard to become a premier shop.
yeah, and they lost. So they got a 7-day suspension. They said this all publicly, so they got a 7-day suspension. And I know that because they have a community guideline hit against them, they can't be a premier shop until
Mhm.
months. So they lose out on some of the benefits of being a premier shop. Okay, I'm going to talk seriously now. So hang on. So, um, so let's talk just briefly about what your recommendation is to folks when they get a bad review. What to do about it? Like,
Okay.
what is your recommendation? Because
I think
we've dealt with it.
it really dep okay, first of all, it really depends on circumstance, I think. Um, like you said, sometimes there are cases where people are just having a bad day or they're not well, and usually you'll see there might be a pattern involved if it's one of those one-offs. Um, I'm just gonna talk to you about a general bad review. So a general bad review I've gotten guys, also, I'm just gonna say something. If you get a free gift, this is my opinion. I don't know if it goes against whatnot rules, but if you get a free gift from someone's sending you something for free, either it's a givey or something. If you don't like it, don't leave a bad review. Like that's just my opinion. If you don't like it, don't leave a bad review. Not for a gift. Someone's paying their shipping, their it's kind of tacky. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, but twice I've gotten bad reviews because of free gifts. Um, and it was usually because of the packaging, maybe, or they were having a bad day. Um, and there was, I think I've gotten maybe 3 bad reviews my entire time on Whatnot. So for the first one, um, I think someone was just taking it out on me, and I just tried to make things right. I said, "How can I make things better?" I messaged out to her, "How can I make things better?" And not for her to change her review, but I sincerely wanted to make things better, and and that worked out. The second time, I just it was a person who was aggressive, unwell, and I just left a polite response, and ended up blocking this person. Um, and then that's why it's always based on circumstances. The third time, it was a Whatnot user that wasn't familiar with the Whatnot app, and I guess somehow ended up taking that out on me, not understanding how shipping works, um, how the app works, and ended up taking that out on me on in review. And I reached out to her to see how to make things better. Very polite. Really wanted to make things better. Really wanted to help her with the app as well. Offer good customer service, which is, I think, key. Um, and she actually decided that the app was not for her in the end, and ended up leaving the app. And then when that happens, the review actually gets deleted. Um, there are cases where um, it's clearly an abusive review. In those cases, you can totally I've never I mean, I guess borderline one of them was that, when it's that case, you can always, always, always report that, especially if it's threatening or something like that. It goes against the whatnot terms, and guidelines. You can always, 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 report that to whatnot. Um, so I think it really depends on a case by case basis. I think if it's a general bad review that's worthy of a bad review or you've made a mistake, I think the best course of action is customer service. Just try to um, offer a way to make things better.
Yeah, absolutely. And V's thrifted it. Ronnie says, "Do you think a response should be made under the review?" And the answer is absolutely.
Yes, yes,
But wait, take a step back, write your
yeah,
review down somewhere else. Do not write, do not immediately respond, because your
hmm
first response may not be professional. Some of
yeah.
us can be professional right off the bat. I can tell you, I can't. I have to take a break. I
Me too.
take write down what I want to say, and then I walk away from it and I come back. It's not it's sitting there without a response for even a couple of days is okay, and then you can write a response that is polite,
hmm
does not does not attack the person,
Right.
focus solely on what they said in their review, and don't be too defensive.
hmm
So um just, I'm sorry you feel that way, um acknowledges their feelings, and but then you can say, for example, for me, my one bad review, um
hmm
the the person had a lot of attacks in there, and it was more of a personal nature, but I just focused on the things that had to do with the selling and made sure to respond to those things,
Yeah.
um, and in a professional way. And
hmm
if you feel like I can't do a professional response, I'm not going to be able to do a professional response, then if you are okay with using AI, use an AI tool to and give it what you want to say, and give them a screenshot of what the person said, and then ask the robot to write you a short professional response that is non-defensive.
I
Uh
just had David be my AI.
yeah, DI. You're using DI. Uh,
DI.
yeah, and, Mimic says get someone to review your response. Yeah, if you have a
Yeah.
friend who's just get them to read it, especially if
hmm
they're it's great to use somebody who doesn't really isn't involved in the community too,
Yeah.
because then
hmm
you can sort of see what the average person coming in is going to see. And the other thing is too is that that review will get buried the more you just keep
I was gonna
selling,
say that.
great customer service, show stuff, and review all flaws, and then just do the next one and the next one, and that review will start to just get buried.
hmm
I have one bad review. I still have a 5.0 rating. I still had a 5
Exactly.
rating after right after she made that review. I
Yeah.
freaked. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, it's my
Yeah.
first bad review.
Yeah.
But if you see a pattern of people saying, if you have a pattern of no worries, baby bat, we'll be with you in just a second. I apologize, we're going to be yattering for a bit. If you see a pattern in your reviews that it's people are saying, the shipping was bad or the flaws weren't, or something like that, that is a pattern of different people saying similar things, then that's you, not them.
Right.
You need to say, okay, people are saying that they didn't realize there was flaws. That means that maybe you need to say it over and over again. Maybe you need to really point it out. Like I will, if I have, when I'm unboxing, stuff is dirty, I will say, this has got flaws. Here's
hmm
this problem.
hmm
Here's a little scudge right here. Oh, look at the dirt here. That dirt is free. You get the chance to clean it yourself. I'm giving you the opportunity for the dopamine. I will like reveal as much as I can. If I see it while I'm running it, I will say, "Oh, and I see this, and I see this." So if you're, especially if you're selling clothing, um, really try and look and examine to see if there are any flaws before you run it. And if you are just
Right.
pulling, then make sure if you're just doing random pulls out of bags, um so like there's somebody who sells straight out of storage locker stuff, right? So it's going to be dirty and stinky and it's been in storage and it might have flaws, and they're just grabbing bags of clothes and pulling up, then that's where you need to be extra warning, because yeah, this item needs a bath. That's something that you can say. You can say this smells, like say it stinks.
Say what
Yes,
it
is
is, describe it.
pull off, but
Mhm.
it's the truth. And if you're in a storage, if you're running clothes out of like storage lockers and that sort of thing, I would go into storage instead, so that your main category is storage for the show, and then your items can be in like women's, men's, contemporary. You can put them in that, and then you can just switch. So a women's outfit comes, you pull up something that's women's, you make sure it's in women's fashion, and if you pull up something that's men's, make sure it's in men's fashion. So add some extra listings so that you can switch back and forth, but they'll the expectations of someone who comes into a women's contemporary show or a women's vintage show versus someone who comes into a storage auction show is different. So, like estate sale people, storage locker people are not surprised when I pull up something that's dirty, because that's
Exactly.
storage locker. But at the same time, I still say it over and over again. So that's the one thing that I would say. I think the person who messaged me, I don't think it was actually their fault necessarily that they got the reviews they did. I think, but if you see those patterns, then it just means you need to communicate more
Mhm.
with your customers while you're live, not just in the show notes. Because how many people right now, we got 15 people in the room, how many people read my show notes? I'm guessing not that many.
Right.
Is there anybody who's read my show notes? So show notes are there, but people don't necessarily look at it. And even if you say check out the show notes, they don't necessarily check out the show notes. Like I always, when I go into a show, I will look at the show notes to see if there's anything like coupons that I should know about, or
Coupons.
like because that's where
I always
coupons.
put my coupons in the show notes.
Yeah. Lulu's gift says I didn't even look at your show notes right now. There you go. See, Shaggy Lady's there.
Lulu.
Yeah, who's gifts. Mimic says I started it, then got distracted. Yeah, so it's like, so putting in the show notes is not enough. You have to say it over and over again if you have something that's got flaws. Like really point it out. Yes. Does that mean that maybe somebody's not going to bid because you just pointed out the flaw? Absolutely. But isn't that better
Yeah.
that they didn't buy it and then get upset when they find a flaw? I would
You know what
rather.
I also find frustrating is when a seller sells something that's not as described, and then you receive it and it's obviously not as described. And then when you approach them and you tell them, "Hey, this item is not as described," and they get upset.
those
That
are those are the
is
sellers you don't have.
wild to me.
That, like, if a customer comes to you with something, no matter whether they're right or wrong, that
Yeah.
whole the customer is always right. The customer isn't always right, but you need to approach it. Again, this is
Yeah.
where if it comes to you and personally DMs you, not just a review, but personally DMs you
Yeah.
and says there's an issue with the item,
Yeah.
you shouldn't just immediately be defensive and
Mhm.
angry. If that, you need to take a step back. Um, Yeah, and yeah, some sellers will just block you for bringing it up,
Yeah.
because they don't want you back in their shows, because they don't want to run things that way. And as far as I'm concerned, that would be a show
Yeah.
I would go into. I would unfollow that seller,
Mhm.
or if I got a really nasty response from them if I said something like, I just got this and I just wanted to let you know that, XYZ. I'm not asking for a refund. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get a for, but I just wanted to let you know, and they are nasty to me, then bye
Yeah.
bye. So I'm sorry, I don't want to go into your shows, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I don't remember every single solitary person that I've ever gone into, so I don't want to see it again. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh, V thrifted it. Ronnie says yes. Some people don't know customer service, unfortunately. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Mimics 55 says need to listen to their concerns because they took the time to reach out. Yeah, and they may have taken the time to lash out, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that you respond like for like.
Right.
It's much better to stop, take a breath, and if you need to ask a robot for help, ask a robot for help if you're okay with using a robot.
And
Um,
personally, if a seller, sorry, if a buyer has issues with something that I've sold to them, and mistakes happen, I would much prefer before you went right to the review section, you come to me and see if there's a way that I could make it better. Um, I find that people right now are so jumpy to go and make a review. You know, I think reviews are great, and I would, and if you're happy with it, I love that you go and you make a review. But sometimes I find I mean, it hasn't really been my experience. I haven't really had bad reviews. I'm just talking about review culture in general, and Amazon and uh, really anything. People just like to make comments about things. I find in general negative comments. You see that on YouTube. You see that on Instagram. I think we should also pause and be like, is this true? Is this kind? Is there a way we could work this out if it's something negative?
is it necessary? Yeah.
Is it necessary?
Is it necessary to say something negative, or it mean to take a step back, especially if you are a seller too, if you're a buyer and
Mhm,
a seller. I
mhm.
highly recommend that before you leave a bad review that you take a second to think
Yeah.
about it, and not lash out and do a professional
Mhm.
negative review. It's just as important for you to be professional as a buyer as it is for you as a seller. Um, uh, Mimic says feedback is important and very useful information. Travis
It
Taylor says,
is.
understand that as buyer, not why not give them the seller a chance to make it right first? Why damage someone's income source? And Louise gives
Yeah.
Travis, like it should be something that we could try to work out rather than just running into the review. Yeah, I mean, and it's going to happen. And I think the thing is you have to remember that psychology of human beings is
Mhm.
that negativity is where we hit first because it's a protection thing. So people are more likely to leave a bad review than
Mhm. Then a good review.
if they had a good time at something, they're less likely to leave a good review
Yeah.
than they leave a bad review. So that's why you see most of the time when people write reviews on like Google and everything else, they're negative things because
Yeah.
people don't think they if they had a good time, they don't feel like they should have to say anything. Like I just
Yeah.
I got
Exactly.
I got what I asked for, so but reviews do make a difference. So if you whenever I do, I'm horrible about leaving reviews in time. But if you do have time, leave a good review if you have a good experience because
Yeah.
it
It
does help.
helps.
And you know
Yeah.
what? I've heard so many sellers say that when they're having a bad time, and I've done the same thing. Like I appreciate the reviews from folks that I read because when I'm having a bad day or shipping is getting me down and I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
god, it's going to take forever. I will stop and read the reviews to be like, okay,
Absolutely.
like I know why I'm doing this. I know why I'm taking this extra time,
Mhm.
and it's important, and I'm going to keep doing it. So, your reviews actually help small sellers and to remind themselves of why they're doing it. You know that a reworker's passion always talks about remember your why. Like, why are you doing this in the first place? Um,
Mhm.
those reviews help me remember the why. So I appreciate them so much. Okay, it's we're way over time. I'm sorry, baby back vintage. Melanie, I'm going to steal a little bit of your time. I think, if that's
It's
okay.
okay. It's all good.
15 minutes or so. So, can you introduce Baby Bat Vintage? And if anyone has questions, feel free to ask them. And if you want to share your shows, feel free to ask them. Melody, go.
Oh my goodness. So first of all, I apologize. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I should have verified this before. I'm not sure if it's Kenna or Kina. But today's guest is Baby Bad Vintage. I think it's Kenna. I'm so sorry about that. She's amazing. She is a 1970s star. She is Paco Rabanne meets Saint Laurent, and she is just it is like Kenna. Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure if it was Kenna or Kina, and I was like, maybe I've been pronouncing it incorrectly. Um, she is a 1970s star. She is Paco Rabanne meets Saint Laurent. She's amazing. She has experience working in the fashion industry, but on the fundraiser side, which I find so fascinating. And we're going to be talking about that later in my show. And of course, I hope Kim covers a little bit of that in her show. And she's just fabulous. She's wonderful. She has beautiful items. She's also really sweet. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Kenna from Baby Bat Vintage.
Okay. Can you say something in the chat for me so I can get to so I can find you? Sorry. This makes life easier.
Hold on, hold on.
Please hold. Someone will be with you shortly. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just be like invite to co-host and it removed the other person? You could just switch
There we
that
go.
way. 5-star review. Woohoo! Okay. Remove. Okay. I always worry when I see that. All right. Baby vet bat. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I'm getting the V's in there. Baby Bat Vintage Kenna is going to join us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I heard we
Oh,
were wearing our funky sunglasses, and this is the best I got.
I love it. Okay, we've got it. Dang it. Let me turn myself. Okay. Is that a no. No, we got an. That's all right. You don't have an X. You put on your. Okay. Perfect.
Is that good?
Yes, I think so. Yes, perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh my God, look at your earrings. They're so cute. I love them.
I
I find something black to wear, and I don't have anything black that fits me. So I was like, no, boobs too much. I can't do that. You look so great, and I love your background. Okay,
Thank you.
so let's start with introduce yourself. Tell us
Mhm.
your your reselling experience and why you came to Whatnot.
Yeah, I just turned 25. I just stepped away from school. I was studying fashion design and history and a lot of different things and theory at Toronto Metropolitan University. So I'm here in Toronto. Um, that was really fun. And yeah, I have worked a lot of different retail jobs especially, and then a few internships and some really cool experiences like that. Um, at the beginning of the pandemic, I started like reselling on Depop, and then when shops opened up again and I could work again, then I put that aside, but it was always my favorite job that I've had. So hearing about Whatnot was really exciting, and yeah, New Ryerson exactly. And yeah, so I just gave it a shot and I just went all in immediately and just became obsessed with it. So I'm having fun.
That's awesome. So how did you discover Whatnot?
I think from American YouTubers, I think was the first time I heard about it. Someone mentioned selling on there. Um, and I think it was someone who actually I think it was Pussycat Vintage. I think she just posts like these long hauls of just amazing true vintage stuff. And she always mentions that they're just going up on her Whatnot show. So I had to check it out.
I think that's where a lot of people are discovering in the fashion
Yeah.
category are discovering from YouTube videos, which I don't understand in my generation because YouTube wasn't a thing growing up. But for you, YouTube was a thing. Like I have a God, how old is she now? 21, 21-year-old step kid, and they like lived on YouTube
Yeah.
from a very young age. Too some things they were too young to have seen, but
Yeah.
but yeah, Lulu's gift says it's so cool. We've grown so much in the Canadian community in the past year. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So kind of tell us about how long have you been selling on Whatnot, and what was your first show like?
I think I did my first show in March. So not too long ago. It hasn't been that long. My first show was really good. I think I it was better than I expected, and it was just really fun, and I think I was on for a couple hours, and it was really fun interacting with everyone. I had a really good positive first experience. I was selling through my closet as well as some other old inventory that I had, from Depop days and such, and yeah, just to kind of get started. And it was really fun because I was told a lot that, like, there's not much of, like, an alt community, an alternative community on Whatnot. There's not a lot of dedicated sellers to that, and that's where I started out with because I was selling a lot of the clothes that I had been wearing for the last, like, 2 years. So, primarily black clothes, primarily alternative, um, and so I think people were drawn to that because there's not a lot of it on here. At least
Yeah.
there wasn't, maybe.
Niche selling or theme selling seems to do really well on Whatnot. Like it's kind of taking your vibe and then throwing that out there. That's what people
Yeah,
like because then they know exactly what they're getting.
yeah.
And that whole find your vibe, find your tribe, you've definitely done that. Because you're sticking with what you love.
Mhm.
Um, part. So are you continuing to just sell out of your closet or do you also source from other places and
Yeah.
sell?
Yeah, I do source. Especially now. I think the first month was mostly out of my closet to make the money to then source because I mean, I've always wanted to have like my own vintage store when I was like
Mhm.
even just younger or even just like yesterday. I've always just wanted to have like my own vintage store, so that's why Depop was so appealing to me and then so I just dove right back in and went right back to sourcing and it's been really fun.
Brilliant. So a lot of people worry about the shipping in Canada. How
Mhm.
have you found shipping on Whatnot as a seller?
It's been fine. Honestly, I think my first few shows, I would have an American or international package or like a order. I haven't had one since. It's been a few months since like I've had to ship anything to the States. So it's been smooth sailing for me. Um, I think I've also had one lost package from Canada Post, so still on still on an email chain with them for that. But like otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I guess I've had smooth sailing other than like one American package that I don't really know what happened with it because it was like not the tariffs weren't paid for it. So I don't know if it's coming back
It should just
or
you'll get paid out because they refuse
yeah,
the package based on tariffs because you can't buy American buyers and Canadian buyers. You can't just refuse a package because you don't want to pay the tariffs. Um,
yeah,
uh, yeah, and I think and one of the things that I do is I make it clear if I know I'm going to be like I was on a raid train where I knew that Americans were in my room and they're going to be buying from me. I made it like crystal clear that they were going to be paying extra, and
yeah,
told them exactly because I knew exactly I was only selling like one type of thing. So I just said it's going to be 20%. Americans going to be
yeah.
20% because your orange guy gave another 10% on top of the 10%. Um, so I think it's just being really clear with your American customers. I don't have a lot of American customers now. I used to before all of
Mm,
things happened. Um,
yeah.
then they didn't accept it, so now my packages don't know. They want me to pay
Same
30.
thing.
Yeah, no, you can just let that go. If I just tell UPS that if it's refused, that it should just stay in the United States. I don't want it back because otherwise you're paying for both bills, and you don't want it
Yeah.
to get something back that you sold on Whatnot. I mean, if it's worth a lot of money, then maybe yeah, but otherwise, it's not worth it. Um, have you what has surprised you about selling on Whatnot? And like what kind of lessons have you learned that you can share with other people who are thinking about selling on Whatnot?
I think um that true vintage has been a little slow moving. I thought it would pick up in Canada a little bit faster, but we're still trying to, I feel like, get the full true vintage like community on here, which I find really interesting because true vintage is so expensive. And I feel like the appeal of Whatnot is, like, getting really, really good deals, and, even if you can't always give, like, the $5 deals, which I honestly rarely ever can, um, still, like, it's going to be, not the $200 that you usually see in a vintage store. So I'm just wondering where they are because I feel like that's what drew me here was seeing an American seller that say that she was listing all of these 1970s pieces for like 15 to $30.
Yeah.
And like that's unheard of.
Yeah. I think the thing is to is we need to do our own marketing. So if you
Mhm.
already have like a following, or even you can even go into that YouTube where you found out about it and say, just say, make a comment, say thank you so much for mentioning that you were going to be selling on Whatnot. I joined Whatnot and now I'm selling vintage in Canada, so thank you so much. That like people that will, especially if you put a little Canada flag, other
Yeah.
Canadians are going to see that and be like, oh, there's a seller in Canada, oh cool, it was also doing vintage, cool, and they might follow you just from that. So
Yeah, that's true.
think there's all kinds of ways that we can, and like I'm sure on, I don't know if you use Facebook because you're young, so but Facebook groups, other groups like Pinterest, anything that you like use. Pinterest is probably also aging me. Anything that you use at social media where you can promote that you're selling on Whatnot, um, is great. Like TikTok, do some TikToks where you show off like these are the things I'm going to sell tomorrow on my Whatnot. Like check out the things. I think the more you can do of your own marketing, that what Pussycat Vintage was kind of doing, her own marketing
Mhm.
on her social media platform, which is huge. If yours isn't huge, it doesn't mean that you still can't bring people in. And also remember, using your referral code will get,
Yeah.
customer will get, like, what is it now? I think it's $25 they get instead of 15. I don't know. It keeps fluctuating. It was 15,
Mm.
but they get credit. And then you also get a credit that you can use on Whatnot. So, like, it pays you to tell people to refer people to there.
Yeah.
And Ronnie and a few others said it's slow right now. It is the slow season. Tis the season where the weather gets better and people are less on their phones, more out doing things. Especially Canada, we appreciate our summers. We
Yeah.
try to take full advantage of them. This is an opportunity to kind of test out different things, go with themes, see how that works, try different things out, and do your sourcing um, for the major season, which is your back to school. So get your back to school stuff ready and through into the holiday season, so that you've got all the things that you think of that someone's going to want to wear to a party or to I mean, like, hello, cool vintage stuff, Halloween,
Yeah.
cool vintage stuff, uh, gifts, like all that kind of stuff. Um, and Ronnie says I'm not even buying myself as much. Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
that
Same.
time of year where retail changes and slows down, and they have to pivot to think of, like, if you think about when you walk into a Walmart, what do you get faced with when you walk in that door, right? Like, it's all the summer stuff right now and it's all about, things you can do outside. It's
Mhm.
sort of, and you look at the ads, and even if they may not be in your category, but they give you an idea of, this is what retailers are pushing out right now on ads. This is what they're thinking people are thinking about. So even if it's like, I'm just looking at, I don't know how old this one is, but um, like this Canadian Tire ad has um, has a dehumidifier, and I think there's down here there's a whole bunch of sporty stuff. So you could think about, okay, what can I sell that's about staying cool,
Mhm.
so, summer dresses, and talking about, this is for staying cool, keep yourself cool while you're, that sort of thing. It's all about like pivoting to, not necessarily, you don't have to sell dehumidifiers and air conditioners, but what does that mean? It means people are hot. People are thinking about being hot. And so
Yeah.
that's, if they see something that's like, oh, that's going to make me feel, I'm hot right now, and she's selling a dress that's going to make me feel less hot, I want to buy that dress. Not hot, that hot, the temperature.
Or both.
Um, uh, And Mimic says, I keep getting ads for those cruise ships. Peacock and Mimics are in the room at the same time. This is unheard of. It's a miracle. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you guys do that. It's pretty cool. Okay. What would be some advice that you would give to sellers who are just starting out, and want to sell and whatnot? What advice would you give to them?
Uh, get comfortable talking to yourself. I think that's a huge strength. And I know it's probably also like an ADHD thing is just constantly kind of just if you're alone in your room, you're like narrating what you're doing to yourself or like thinking out loud. So it comes very naturally, but that's has to you got to get comfortable in that feeling. I feel like because like a lot of people say it's about being yourself and letting your energy just translate really well. And I think that if you just like act the way that you do when no one is watching and you're just being yourself, then that's going to translate really well. And if you're comfortable, then people will just honestly have fun just hanging out too. Like I've made some really great friends on here and I love everyone on here so much. And I think that's also because we just really hang out. And yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Running dialogue. Yeah.
It turns
So
out that no, those people are called not neurodivergent.
neurotypical.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, they're neurotypical. We do like no, there are people who can't hear their own thoughts all the time.
that's
All
scary.
the time. Or
Be
they
so
can't even
quiet.
see. They can't like if it's so you know that meditation where you're supposed to picture yourself on the beach and yada 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 and all that kind of stuff. There are people who can't see the beach at all. They don't see a
Yeah.
beach. They can't see
I can't
anything.
remember what that's
They
called,
can't
but
walk through a
yeah.
forest and see the deer come out into they can't do any of that because they can't see it. They can't see it at all. It's
Yeah.
weird. I don't understand. I have like a very visual memory. Like if I need to find something, I just have to like close my eyes and I'll actually see it in its place. And then I just have to find where that place got moved to
Yeah.
because it's a lot. Um, Peacock says, edit the running thoughts in your head before you speak. Um, uh, and V's Thrifted at Ronnie says, I wish I didn't. I would actually get sleep at night. I have a TV
Yeah,
on
honestly.
so that my brain is distracted. So I have weird dreams about whatever is on TV. So yeah. Um, so what is your next goal on Whatnot? What are you hoping to achieve next with Whatnot?
I think I mean there's always the 1,000 sale goal. I think that's such a milestone that I mean is created for a reason and you see it a lot. And I'm really excited to get close to that point where I can start, trying to really reach for it. I'm almost halfway, which is really great, and I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so honestly, just getting to like 500 soon would be great. I'm for something. Um, so that's like a number milestone. Otherwise, I'm really having fun getting ready for my like very curated shows, and I kind of want to almost become known for them because I wanted to do costume design, which is why I went to fashion school. I really wanted to do costume design, so I really love television and I love movies, and I love costuming. So catering and curating shows based off of like my favorite movies or TV shows is really fun, and I'd love to keep that going and kind of be known for having those types of shows. I think that would be really, really fun. And I think it's fun for me and fun for everyone. And yeah, like you said, a good theme really, really works. People know what they're coming in for, and you get new people because they're coming in for that specific thing or they're fans of the same thing. And everyone can kind of also the fun thing with shows is that there's many characters. So there's also many variations of that style inside the show. So you can really speak to a lot of different people through under that one umbrella. So that's really fun.
Yeah, I can imagine like the Umbrella Academy trying
Oh
to curate.
man.
That'd be really interesting because that's like they're all over the place because each one has such a unique personality that it's
Yeah.
like
Extremes too. Yeah.
games that would very cool to do. Yeah, I love that idea of those kind of themes and curated. I mean, some people are known for being not curated, and I think that works for them. But
Mhm.
curated shows have a really there isn't a number. I don't think there's an umbrella category, but I think that curated shows are a really great way to go.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy it, like that's the thing is if you don't like listing, if you don't like that sort of thing, then don't do those type of shows. But if you
Yeah.
enjoy it, and it sounds like you do, then like do that, and I think it will translate. It's the one thing is too is that if we talk again in 6 months, I think we're gonna have a totally different story about like where you are and what your next goal is. Because I mean, you're already
Mhm.
started in March and you're almost halfway to 1,000. So in 6 months, I can imagine you'll just be like, and now I'm working towards 3,000. Um, because it takes time to build your business on whatnot. Even if you were like Pussycat Vintage and you were bringing all your folks into the room, even then it takes time to build from that. um
Mhm.
so um yeah, I think we're going to see big things from you, and I love that idea of those really highly curated shows. I think they're going to do really well, especially if you market them outside of whatnot to those
Mhm.
communities who love those shows and love that style. I think you're just going to draw that awesome vibe in, and I love that idea that you're sticking with your vibe and going with that. I love that. Be yourself, and
Mhm.
it's going to work. It's absolutely going to work. So I love it. I love it. So we talked a little bit about shipping. What do you do? So a lot of people, they have numbers or stickers, or they write
Mhm.
people's names. How do you organize your show so that your shipping is a little bit faster? What advice would you give to people about that?
I feel like I've tried it all now. Like, I feel like I've tried or at least a lot of it. I tried, what was even the first thing that I did? I think tape and a marker. Actually, that's always a trusted method through any variation of it. But, I tried, yeah, Post-its and everything like that on the first show. And then I've done like what I did the longest was numbering clothespins. Instead of having those tags that you have to like
Mm.
pay $30 for, I just got $2 clothespins and then numbered
Okay,
them
show
with
that
the
again.
Sharpie.
That's brilliant. Show that again.
Yeah.
How brilliant that is. Go to the dollar
So
store and get a Sharpie at the dollar store. Buy those. That's like what, a buck 50 for a
yeah,
pack, like 50.
50, I think. Yeah.
So, and just you clothespin them on. If you're selling clothing,
Mhm.
clothespins, work on that, and then you don't need to worry about the post-it notes falling off and
Yeah,
everything else.
exactly.
And
And I
I can
also
tell you
do,
that,
2 different colors too, so if you do multiple shows a week, then I have, like, black is the first one I do, and then I'll do, like, red on another set of them, so if you do multiple shows a week, then you don't have to remove the clothespins and reuse them or get confused and stuff, so
and it's inexpensive.
yeah.
That's so freaking brilliant, Kenna. Oh my gosh, it's so brilliant. And I can tell you one thing, folks. So for those of you who like do do shows where you're doing random pulls and it's like number this, number that, the new system that I'm testing out right now, that's the beta, which will be coming out eventually. The new system I'm testing out numbers each item based on so it'll tell you that it's medium, and then it'll say number 12 if it's the 12th thing that's sold in that show. So it will work perfectly with what you're doing.
Oh.
So everything will
Yeah.
get a number beside it that's in the order, so your system is going to like be the way to go once this rolls out to everybody. So on my shows, like
Mhm.
let me see if I can open up shows. Please hold. Someone will be with you shortly. Past show, open show. So I'm just going to print a few here. Print. Hang on. Print. Is it going to print? Oh no, it's not. I forgot. Wrong thing. There we go. Sorry. Okay. There we go. So what it actually did was it printed number 28. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
the 28th thing that I sold. Sorry, the other printer's also printing. The 28th thing I sold, because I sold 28 things yesterday, is right there, number 28.
Yeah.
So even though I was going back and forth between different templates, it was still printing out number 28, number 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. So your system is going to work perfectly with this too, because you won't need
That's good.
to even guess, because it's going to show on their shipment. When you go to do their shipments, it's going to say this 28, this 29. So it'll be so
Yeah.
much fun.
I'm trying out another one too because now I'm also doing I have a lot of like returning friends that, get something usually about once a week and stuff or every week and then also friends that like build bundles over time. So they do the whole free pickup thing and then extend it and then we ship it out later. So that one I'm doing the bag method, which I know gets really
No,
chaotic in space.
back up. So that method of using the free pickup is against
Hmm.
terms of service. So
Okay.
you don't do that. You don't do
I
that.
totally don't do that.
You don't do that. No.
No, everyone lives in
No,
Toronto.
you don't.
They come and genuinely pick it up.
Yeah, they don't. You don't do that at all.
No,
You don't do that at
everyone
all.
comes and picks it up. It's perfect. And while I'm waiting for them to come pick it up, it has a
They,
bag with a piece of painter's tape with their name on it.
yeah. So
Um,
if you're going to do that, be very careful, because the one thing is too, for buyers. So you're trustworthy, but there are people out there who are using this in other categories who are then not ever sending the stuff,
mm,
because a Pokemon rip, and they do
oh
free
yeah.
local pickup, and the card is amazing, like worth thousands of dollars, and the person only paid like $40 for the rip. They're not they're not that card
No.
gets lost somehow. So be careful, because once you've given that pickup code over to a seller, you've told Whatnot that you've received it,
Yeah.
and then you have a certain amount of time to leave a review. But other than that, you have no recourse whatsoever to say, he was going to ship it out and he never shipped out my card, etc. So just be
Hmm.
really careful about that.
I also
um
don't request the
Talk says I
pickup
can
codes
offer
usually
yearly
too.
bundling. Could you imagine yearly bundling?
Yearly bundling.
The year I ship out to you. um uh okay. Mimic says, what do people think
Mm,
about this idea? Because we all know people tend to not want to start a new box on Fridays. Maybe there's a way to extend the bundle. So the one thing that I have done, but I don't offer it anymore, but I used to offer that I would hold, like, if they didn't sell and you said B for bundle, I would hold it over a
mm,
longer
mhm.
period of time. I don't do that anymore, because I just don't have the space for that here, to do that and have everything kept and organized, and not
Yeah.
accidentally miss something that they wanted. But that's also taking it out of your inventory opportunity to sell it at another
Yeah.
time, right? And if they turn around and not buy the bundle, then you've got to go through it all over again. What have you found with weekly bundling? Do you offer it to your customers, and are they using it?
Yeah, I find most times after a show, all of them are weekly bundling. I think sometimes there'll be two that like are to be shipped out the next day. But I really, as a buyer, I really appreciate it and I really enjoy it. So I try to um always offer that stuff as like a seller as well as much as I can. But right now, so far, so good. It took a while to like create the system to hold on to things for so long and everything, but now it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, I do weekly bundling and I love weekly bundling.
Yeah, and one of the things too is you can encourage, even if you only do shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and you don't do a Saturday, Sunday show, you can always tell your buyers in your show that you have things available for sale in Buy It Now
Mhm.
in the marketplace, and anything that they buy 24/7 will go into that box too. So really encourage
Yeah.
them to come back to your store and look for more stuff to put into their box, I think is a really great way of adding some more sales. And
Yeah,
they're
for
saving money,
sure.
right? There's
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't realize that they can go to your store, and if they've got weekly bundling turned on for you, then they're going to be able to just bundle that in the week and
Yeah.
save a lot of money on shipping. Um,
I love
how are
that it
you?
creates, like, a routine too for shipping, like, I know that I have most of my shipping to do on Monday. So I can
Yeah,
prepare it on Sunday if I don't have the show or something else, but it's nice to know that Monday's the day that I, like, scheduled pickup from Canada Post, and I get it all done and out of the way, and it just I love a routine, so that one works really well.
yeah, I like that too. One of the things that I don't I haven't done this again. I haven't done it this week, but I keep saying a really good thing to do is to after every show is at least package everything up and get it ready so that
Mm,
Mondays don't aren't as daunting. Especially for some of
yeah.
us who are in like vintage decor and that where there's a lot of packing work
Right.
that involved that it takes a lot of time. Some other people I was watching a Facebook reel about somebody who was showing off. She was just selling lanyards. Now, why would someone buy multiple lanyards? I don't know, but there were, and she was literally just taking the buckets with each person's thing and like throwing it into a baggie and then closing up the baggie. And I was like, oh, like I couldn't even do like I couldn't even do it the way she was doing. Like there would be tissue paper and then like a note and sticker and the whole nine yards. Like I just couldn't like toss it in and throw it. But
Yeah.
there are people who just like they go so quick and we don't have that option in vintage decor. But if you get everything ready, like I don't know if you cover your stuff in tissue paper or just fold it up and get it ready to go, at least that way when shipping time comes it's a lot faster. And not like for me it's a full day. It's Monday is a full
Yeah.
day. I get up and get my coffee, get my pills into me, and then I start shipping, and my husband just keeps taking stuff to the post office because we're like less than away from the post office. So I
Okay,
can,
yeah.
um, yeah, you saw it too, Sophie. I was like, wow. Like, I don't know if I'd want to buy from someone who just tosses it in, but
Yeah, it couldn't
that's
be me.
what you want. What do you think about having pickup on the first show, ended on the second on Friday with the buyer paying their shipping? So that is against that is considered abuse of whatnot features to use pickup like that, and it also completely eliminates Magnus by Marika. Welcome in. I'm gonna mod you so that you can make an announcement about when your next show is. Thank you so much, everyone. Please follow Magnus by Marika. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. We're just talking about um, don't use if you be careful because they're gonna see the thing is they're not cracking down on it yet in Canada,
But they
but the
will.
use of free pickup and then and it just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And yeah, there are going to be buyers that are going to ask you to do that. They're going to be buyers who are going to be like, other people, other kids do it, so you should do it too. Well, no, not going to do that. It just be very careful because what happens and whatnot, and I have seen this in the last 3 years, is that that whatnot will let things slide for a while and then they crack down and they crack down hard.
Yeah.
Then it seems like it's just a no big deal and then they get more and more customer service complaints, or there's more and more that's harming their whatnot's reputation, and then um they'll just like all of a sudden you will just get a message that's like you have violated community guidelines, and you'll be like, what, I've been doing this for 2 years and now all of a sudden it's a problem. That is how whatnot takes the low hanging fruit first. The most important things go first, and so eventually
Yeah.
they will come for people who are abusing free local pickup, so be very very careful
Yeah, they're
about.
still new, so they're letting a lot of things slide to help us just build, and then they'll be like, "Okay, now we're losing money." So
Yeah, I mean, they have to be careful about whatnot's reputation as a whole, and it's so.
yeah.
But and so I just think it's better. because here's the thing is a lot of people will build their entire, like there are card sellers who are building their entire whatnot business around abusing free local pickup. Like their
Mm.
entire thing is about just do free local. And that's, and when they get hit with a change to the policy, they're gonna have, they're not gonna have that business, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's gonna
what
be.
happened with
Mm.
blooping? Thank you, Mimics. Whatnot had a great feature that was available called Gift to Chat, and it was awesome because I could, someone in the show right now could go into my buy it now and gift something randomly to somebody in the room. So there was like what, and it made a bloop
Mm.
sound, so we called it blooping. It was so much fun. It was so great way to like build community. People absolutely loved it, but there were sellers who built their entire business around it and like had like 50% of their sales was about blooping,
Mm.
gift chat. And it was an awesome feature, but Whatnot had an issue with the fact that it was making too many calls into the database on a constant basis, and it was clogging up their
Mm.
ability to expand the business. Because if you're making all those calls constantly to the database, um, then they just couldn't expand, and they decided we're going to end. They said they sundowned it, so that doesn't mean they necessarily won't come back someday, but they sundowned it,
Mm.
and so all of a sudden it was gone. So free local pickup could suddenly be gone. So do not rely upon it, especially. And Lightning Rod Collect is asking. The answer is that if the person isn't actually picking up the item and you're going to later on ship it, and you're asking the buyer to give you their code and say that they've already got the item when they don't already have the item, then that is an abuse of Whatnot's feature. And I get it that most of us are good human beings who will actually make sure that it gets to the person. But it is actually, a lot of sellers are doing it. But one of
Mhm.
these days, and maybe it's going to be a year from now, or 6 months from now, or a month from now, or 2 years from now. But eventually, Whatnot will either say, you know what, too many people are abusing local pickup. We're just going to eliminate local pickup. Or they're going to say that those people who are abusing local pickup will start getting suspended.
Mhm.
And then you know you don't rely upon any one feature on Whatnot in order to build your business, is my recommendation. So even, and Elaine
Good
Star
tip.
said, you think local pickup helps sales? I have customers who do local pickup. Like, and yes, like one of my friends, I don't see her that often, but so I keep everything for her. I have a box, and then when we meet up, I hand over the stuff, and that's how we do it. But um, but most of the time, most people don't use local pickup. But I think if you live in an area where you can offer local pickup, then it certainly can help, especially if you're marketing into your community. So
Mhm.
if you're doing, like, say you're doing vintage clothing and you're marketing in your community with posters or whatever to say, I've got you can do, I'm selling on Whatnot, and you can just get local pickups, so don't pay for shipping, get local pickup, and I'll meet you at the post office. My recommendation is, especially if you present as female, is to be careful about where you do local pickup. Don't make it
Yeah,
your
your
home,
address.
um, because you want to be safe. And also make sure that you're very clear about timing, um, that you organize a time, an exact time that they're going to meet you, and say, like, if you are late by 20 minutes, then I'm not going to be there. Like, that you need to be on time. And don't let people also steal your time, right?
Yeah.
um that sometimes people will be like, oh, like, let's get together and we'll have coffee and blah blah blah, and then I can do my weekly pickup. And it's like, no, because that's your time that you could be spending. Like, maybe you want to go hang out and have coffee, but that can end up becoming a constant expectation of that person every time they do local pickup, and that can be hours out of your day, that
Yeah.
you could be working on selling instead. um Eleni Star says, was just thinking for larger items, multi items like dinner sets, local pickup might help. That is a feature that they briefly briefly tested out, which was local pickup only items. And I am still pushing for that
Oh,
because as an auctioneer, I agree, Eleni's
yeah.
daughter, it would be awesome to be able to walk into a house and do the entire house, including the furniture, all on Whatnot. I think that would be absolutely amazing. But right now, you can't really sell anything that's huge because there's no way to say it's local pickup only. But
Mhm.
that would be something for the future. I think auctioneers auctioneer so I can tell you that the biggest auctioneer school in the United States, which a lot of Canadians go to, is teaching about Whatnot and how it
Mm.
is the future of auctioning. And they're already talking about it because I was told by an auctioneer who was getting his accreditation there that they're talking about Whatnot. They're literally talking about Whatnot at auctioneer school because it's that big a deal for changing
That's cool.
the auction business. And Tom, who's the chief product officer for Whatnot, he even said that he's from Australia and like they auction houses, and he's like,
Mhm.
I can't see why we couldn't do that on Whatnot one day. Could you
Yeah,
imagine?
yeah,
Like, let's sell a house. Let's sell a car. Let's sell
yeah.
cars on Whatnot. Local pickup only, but let's sell cars on Whatnot. Like, that'd be so cool.
That would be
Um,
really cool.
Peacock Joy says, I've seen someone title their show Local Pickup Only. Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah,
Buck
there's
and
always
Go
gonna be a
houses,
miscommunication
dollar
and
start houses.
something.
Could you imagine? I'm going to sell this 5 bedroom, 3 bathroom home. Dollar starts. Dollar starts. Let's go. Come on. Sudden death. Sudden death. Dollar starts. You got 30 seconds to bid. This house is going to start at $1. Oh my gosh. That would, I mean,
I'm
if
stressed.
they started it, imagine it was like over, like selling something in Toronto and it was over a
Yeah,
million and you sit there for like an hour while they bid.
yeah.
Bid. Oh, there's another 5 seconds just got added on. 3 hours later, they're still bidding on the house because they haven't gotten up to 1.5 million yet. I
Yeah,
think it's going to be. I think that's in the future. I mean, Whatnot has a Whatnot is still a baby. It's just a
yeah, it
baby.
is.
It's just a baby, and it's growing. They did their first. They finally hit 1 billion items sold recently,
Yeah.
which is like amazing. And like
Mhm.
last year, they did what, $6 billion worth of gross sales.
Wow.
Um, one quick question for you. And Melody, if you're listening in, if you're ready, let me know when you're ready, love. Um, so this coming week, starting tomorrow, the entire week is going to be from
Yeah.
June, June 27th to July 3rd is zero commission for Canadian sellers. An entire week,
That's
we get an
crazy.
entire
A
week. I
whole
thought it was
week.
days. We get an entire freaking week.
That's
Last year we
crazy.
got 2 days. This year we get an entire week. So what are you planning to do in this next week? How many shows do you plan on doing?
I think those curated shows are gonna finally happen. I've been
Oh,
I've been
Melody.
curating and hunting for two specific ones, my favorite TV show and my favorite movie. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Almost Famous. So those two are coming up. So it's got 90s Y2K it girl fashion for Buffy and then some witchiness in there. And then true 1970s and then 90s and Y2K does 1970s since Almost Famous was made in 2000. We're going to mix the two and it's going to be so much fun and I'm really excited. So I think both of those I'll try to have happen in that week and then maybe another witch show in there too. Or I also have some vintage lingerie. So I might just like save all
Oh,
of them for that week and just go crazy and clear house.
yeah.
May as
I mean,
well. I'm yeah.
at 0%. So Eleni's daughter asked about what do we still pay the credit card transaction fee? So yes. So we still
Mhm.
have to cover 2.9% payment processing fee plus 30 cents per item payment processing fee. But if you sell $100 worth of stuff, you don't pay that 8% commission. So you're saving $8 on every $100 that you sell. And I'll take anything. I'll take any discount I can get.
Yeah.
I'm all for discounts. Peacock is going to be selling all of her tail feathers. She's been saving them up for this. Mimix is excited for Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I love that.
Yeah, I do also
Uh,
have another theme of just black and purple witchy clothes. So maybe even that will be my Sunday show or something because I just created it. So, but I have a lot of good stuff for that. So it's kind of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So reminds me of her room.
I love that. Does anybody have any questions for Kenna, aka Baby Bat Vintage? Um, my last question is if you could give one piece of advice to a new seller, what would it be?
Uh, don't overthink it and just do it. When I had the idea that I was like, maybe I should try it, I was like, I have to do it literally today or tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm gonna like think myself out of doing it and get shy and anxious. So just if you're thinking about doing it, just set up a rack or set up a pile and just go for it and just press live and like just don't even look at the numbers. Look at the chat only, but don't look at the little number telling you how many people are in there. Just literally just talk to yourself and talk to whoever is talking back with you and make some friends.
Yeah.
That would be my
And
advice.
what do you do to sort of keep yourself talking? Do you talk about the item? Because you said like you have to get used to talking to yourself, but you're sort of talking to an imaginary friend who's like maybe in the background. I just kind of
Yeah.
picture everybody and start talking as if I'm talking to
Yeah.
them. I just picture all of them, even if I haven't seen you. I'm picturing you in my mind while I'm talking to you. So
Yeah.
how what do you do? Do you like describe the items? Like what kind of detail do you go into detail?
Yeah.
Or
I think it helps
your
to
breath?
yeah, like sell things that you genuinely like and that you genuinely love because then it will come very naturally. Um, just describe things that you like about the items and point out all of the small details that you can. Always give measurements on clothes and other items that like matter and that will help also like fill the silence that you feel in between holding up the item and then like actually running it. um, yeah, and then just talk about texture, like talk about everything that you would want to know if you can't quite get a grasp of what you're seeing on the screen. Um, but focus on just like, yeah, I don't know, like how you would try to pitch this item to your friend. Be like, I think you would really like this and tell them why.
Yeah, and I think visual descriptions really help. Like this feels really soft, or it's really flowy, or this is
Mm-hmm.
lightweight. Like look at the sheen on this. I think that all helps because a lot of times too, people are listening in to whatnot while they're doing.
Yeah.
So talking about what you love about the thing, yeah, smooth like butter. um, is it helps to capture those people who are listening and not necessarily watching, because there are a
Yeah.
lot of people who like turn like I don't know how I can't do that, but there's a lot of people who like watch whatnot, listen in on whatnot while they're like doing other things around the house.
Yeah.
If I'm at a chat show or something, I will like I'll do my shipping while I listen in. But Peacock suggests that you don't lick the items. People don't necessarily like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember ever doing that, Peacock, but I probably have actually.
Or when you're
'Cause
testing like pearls on your teeth and stuff.
yeah, always
But yeah,
yeah,
multitasking, I try to do it basically every day because I'm like, well, I want to hang out with my friends that are on, and I just end up getting nothing done, and I'm just there like typing and watching. So sometimes I have to actually be like, it's okay if I miss one, fine if I miss the show. But also another good piece of advice I feel like would be honest and put care into everything because my main goal is always like I don't want anyone to open a package and be disappointed about anything. So like even because I know that I see this on Depop sometimes too, where it's like, well, they don't know what it feels like because it's on a screen. Like they don't know what it's made out of. I'm just not gonna say, or I'm not gonna say like that there is a tag and it's actually like Shein or something. Like you don't want them to be disappointed and it just comes across as being like sneaky. So also like really evaluate everything before you send it so you don't do it by accident. Um, I always like check all the seams and I sew holes like before shipping everything and just yeah, put the care into it and then also be honest about the items as you're describing it. If someone's like, I have sensory issues, I don't want things that are scratchy or like an itchy wool. tell them if it's itchy. It's fine. Like someone else
Yeah.
will like it. It's okay. Just be honest about it.
And I think the thing is too is that if you don't sell it in one show, that doesn't mean that it's not going to sell in another show.
Yeah.
I've had things that like I've shown a few times over the years and then it finally sells for like way
Yeah.
more than I asked for it at the beginning.
Yeah.
So if something doesn't go today, don't think that that means that it's not
Yeah.
worthy of being shown again. If it doesn't bring you any joy, if you don't love it, then yeah, donate it. Like
Yeah, if
just
you're getting sick of showing it, then just get rid of it. But like that's the fun part about doing it is that it's all about finding something that's like a perfect home. So that it doesn't come fast always to like they don't just show up on the first try because you don't want it to just go to anyone. Like you want it the whole point is to keep clothing circulating and have things be actually worn and appreciated and loved. So you want it to go to that person that's gonna really love it. They see it on the screen and they gasp and they're like, "How much?" And
I
they're like,
love
"That's a
that.
great deal." Thank
I love that so much. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to be going into
you.
Melody now. I really appreciate all your time, especially since we've gone over a little bit. As Peacock has suggested, we're going to put bats in the chat. So
Yeah.
make sure that
I
you're following Baby Bat Vintage. You're going to be on today doing a show, I think,
am.
one
Yeah, right
o'clock.
after Friday, I think we'll be doing uh the long-awaited part 2 of my upcycled pieces. So, which are behind me. A little teaser.
Ooh.
So,
Upcycled pieces. So we're gonna go over to Melody and we're gonna make sure that you're following Baby Bat Vintage and bookmark her upcoming shows.
awesome. Thank
And
you.
we're gonna go into Melody and check her out. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate getting to know newer sellers and what their experience is because I think it's hard for me to remember. I remember what it's like, but at the same time, it's great to hear somebody who's at the start of their whatnot journey. You're going
Yeah.
to grow. You are going to grow huge. So just keep going because you're amazing and you're going to do so well on here. I
Thank
really
you.
do. And let's see. Oh, no, Melody's not on yet. Melody's not on yet. So, okay. Does anyone have any questions? Well, let me just try and type this again. I don't know why it didn't like that. Raid at no, it's not showing up because she's not on yet. Okay. All right, no worries. Um, Venus Vibrations asks, when does the commission week start again? So, good question. Let me
think
just
it's the
go down,
28th.
minimize show. Zero commission for 1 week is June 28th, June 28th, July 4th. It's your time zone. So if
Yeah.
it's June June 28th, your time zone. So midnight on June 28th. So the start of June 28th through to 11:59 p.m. your time zone on July 4th. And there are only 123 sellers that have gone in and actually created a show with the tag. The
Oh,
tag to
use
use
that.
is, hang on, let me just see.
Oh, Melody's
Uh,
on.
oh no, it doesn't show the tag. It's not showing the tag. Normally it shows the tag when you do this, but I'm sure it's something like Canada Day 2026 would be my guess. So let's see if there's a tag. So if you do have a show, yes. So what you want to do is if you already have a show scheduled, thank you, Lamb Slave. If you already have a show scheduled for June 28th through to July 4th, add the tag, remove one of your tags and add the tag Canada Day 2026
Ah,
to
okay,
those
sweet.
shows. Okay. So, because that's how they're going to figure out which ones are the ones to show on the top. So make sure you use that. She said to use the tag, but wanted me to be featured or shelved. So not everybody's going to get that opportunity, but yeah. And if you need more information, if you go to your seller hub on your phone, there's a bar right here that's going to show you your commission. So your 0% commission for 1 week, and you just click there. So that's where, but you can also just add the tag to shows that you already have scheduled. But if you want to do one very special one, it doesn't matter. You don't need to use, yes,
Yeah.
you don't need to use the tag in order to get the 0% commission. That's automatic. However, if you want to be on if you want to be featured, they're looking for the shows that have the tag. That's how they're knowing that they're intentional shows. So there's what they call it a shelf. So if you look on Whatnot, sometimes when you go to their main page, there'll be in a category there will be a shelf. Let's see, there's not going to be one right now, but there'll be a shelf that's featuring shows, and they do that every once in a while, and they call it a shelf because it's a line like a shelf. So that is what you want to do. All right. Okay. So
Sweet.
let's try again. We're going to raid. And I have to type this out without misspelling it. Raid. Add LOD. It won't let me. There she is. Send. Oh, it's not letting me on this phone. Son of a nutcracker. Okay, no worries. We're doing it here. If all else fails, use a different device. This is why it's always good to have a second device handy. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you so much. We're going to go into
Thanks
Melody
for
now.
having
So
me.
the conversation with Kenna Baby Bat Vintage is going to continue. I love you guys. Let's put bats in the chat when we get there. Bats in the chat to say hi to Melody. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a chat show, so we can chat more then. Bye. Love you guys so much.